I'm coming to you first, and sir, it is time to defend your own. Should Marcus Morris be suspended for the flagrant foul on Luka?
No, shouldn't be suspended. Look, we know this was a reputational call. If you want to break it down frame by frame, that dude style, you would see that this was actually instigated by Luka. By Luka going to the hole.
By Luka playing basketball. Sorry, Luka.
No,
stop hooping.
You're
Stop hooping.
trespassing in the defender's body space. Look at that. You see, first of all, the chicken wing and the lean in. That's how you play defensive end, not how you play offensive basketball. But in that process, we all know that there's a history. There's contention there. So we're reading this situation. And then I think Marcus Morris Sr. in that moment said, oh, you want to play bully ball? Here you go. Now, in that process, did hit him in the head, but not with full extension and not with negative intent. But he did get ball.
Not with negative intent?
No.
Look at his reaction. He's looking at him like, yeah, that's what you get.
Hold on. I'm looking at you right now. I'm not mad at you. That's how the game goes. So what we saw right here was guys going full go. Fans always say, man, I want these guys to take it serious, to put it all on the line. You saw Luka putting it all on the line with his defensive end chicken wing and getting into his body space, and you saw Marcus Morris respond. But because of the history came into play in this moment when it shouldn't, and it certainly shouldn't going forward in terms of suspension. No suspension, just, hey, it's called contested playoff basketball.
Marcellus. Context and history always matter, bro. Say you cuddled up late night with your significant other, and all of a sudden, 1:30 a.m., you get a text from Pizza Hut talking about, hey, I miss you. You might be like, you know what? It was just the Pizza Hut auto text. But then the next night, you laying in bed, and you get a call from Pizza Hut at 3 a.m. Marcellus, you're guilty now.
What I do?
Okay, you're guilty.
Somebody might be in a different time zone.
No, not Pizza Hut. Okay, Marcus Morris, he's guilty because history and context matter. Here's my thing, bro. Marcus Morris, if you want to hit people in the head, we got a whole nother sport for that. You can put on some gloves and you can go boxing. If you want to take cheap shots, we got a whole nother sport for that. You can get yourself in the octagon and you can do your thing. But if you want to play basketball, then I just say play basketball. And Marcellus, I'm not the guy that's like, oh, you're soft. Nah, bro. Are we hooping or are we not? Like, Luka's not trying to be an MMA street fighter. If he wanted to, he probably would have taken a different career path. So now look, I'm going to get to the whole point of the question. Should Marcus Morris be suspended? I'm not so ignorant as to say he should. That's not what I'm saying.
On Twitter, you are.
But no, because I didn't say he should be suspended. I said, get him up out of there. But here's what I'll say, Slick Rick. Here's what I will say. If we can retroactively look at calls and challenge them and say, you know what wasn't a foul should be a foul, then maybe you should be able to retroactively look at games and say, you know what? Maybe Marcus Morris did step on Luka's ankle on purpose in Game 5. Or how about Game 1 when KP got ejected? Wait a second. Marcus Morris did incite that entire incident. Maybe things retroactively should be affected and inflicted. But the NFL, the NBA, they already have their point system. So Marcus Morris should not be ejected, but there should probably be a heavier levy, heavier suspensions, heavier fines than just, you know what, let's just eject him for one game and keep it pushing.
Yeah, the fact that he was ejected from the game, I feel as if that was plenty, particularly at that time and the meaning of this game, that was plenty penalty enough. To add to it doesn't seem to be fair to me. I actually looked at the play, and look, I've been covering the league for a long time. I felt it deserved a flagrant 1 at best. Yes, he made contact with the head. Yes, give him the technical foul and the ball, but a flagrant 2 seemed to be a little much. And as Marcellus pointed out, there is history here, and it's going both ways. Luka Doncic and the way he plays, he's a very physical offensive player. He uses his body a lot in order to create space and to bump defenders. That in kind is going to cause defenders to play him more physical. And if you watch this replay that we've now seen about 100 times, in each case, the first hit to the head was, I'm reaching to try to block it. I hit him in the head. Okay. The second time, he actually gets the ball. I look at his intent, and it was never, I'm just going to slug Luka Doncic. And the same with the stepping on the back of the shoe. Like, you're reading into intent. If I'm watching the inbound come in and I'm coming up behind him, it's possible that I step on the shoe, unintentionally.
I'm confused.
It's possible.
Because
it's possible.
Slick, you just.
But I'm not going to penalize. Look, this was my other issue with your probability.
I hope you have a better one now.
The probability of the space on the floor and all of these guys having an equal opportunity to step on that shoe. No, Marcus Morris covered Luka Doncic for the better part of this series. If there was going to be any interaction, it was going to be between those two, and it was going to be Marcus.
But nobody else stepped on anybody else's ankle and took their shoe off. That's a weird coincidence. Anyway, Slick, I have an issue with something you said earlier, Slick, because you, sir, and you and Marcellus, in fact,
now it's me,
I'm glad y'all are sitting next to each other so I can couple both of you all together. See, Marcellus texted me, Slick, after he tweeted at me after,
I ain't never text
after the fifth game. He don't care about me enough to text me.
Hell no.
He tweeted at me after game 4 and game 5 and said, wait, your HDTV can tell intent? See, Slick, in one sentence, you just uttered Marcus Morris's intent was not to hurt Luka. But then when talking about the ankle, you wanted to utter that Marcus Morris's intent was not to step on. Can we read intent or can we not?
I don't know.
Slick?
I don't know. So I'm going to put that aside. All I know is he made a play on the ball in the second instance, and that's all I can go by. He actually hit the ball and then came through and got him. So look, in the big picture, I kind of agree with Marcellus in that I feel as if the NBA is adjudicating competitive fire and competition out of the game because we're so worried. Do you, honestly, Acho, let me ask you this about either one of those incidents. Do you think there was a case in either case that Luka would have been injured by what Marcellus, by what Marcus? You're so part of the Clippers. You're Marcellus Morris as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Well,
Either one.
You heard that? That's me. No.
Looking to injure and take Luka out of the game.
I try to be a genuine human being, Marcellus, when I answer questions. The ankle one, I don't know. Because my problem with Marcus Morris is, bro, you got caught. Like, at least be better. Be better about dirty play. Marcellus played in the league. I played in the league, played high-level college. We all play ball, Slick. We all play ball. Everybody does a little something. But, like, at least be better than to sit here and take his whole shoe off. Like, I just disrespect you for not even being quality enough at being dirty to, like, not get away with it. So could he have hurt him? I don't know, but I also don't want to find out. Like, could KD have torn his Achilles by coming back off a tight calf? Well, we found out. I would just rather not find out than sit here and play the coulda, woulda, shoulda game until it's too late.
Strong response right there. Tremendous deflection right here. I'm sorry, America. In today's social climate, I can't believe that I actually work with a guy who is profiling right now in this moment. Like, really standing at a distance and passing judgment from such a far space between what Marcus Morris was doing, his intent, and what you're trying to say up here. How dare you slander this guy's entire character and name and game just because of what you think you saw at the crib eating on some nachos. With that said, I can't play a lick of basketball. Speaking of profiling, always get picked first until after that first game they realize, don't judge them by the paint job anymore. Here's the thing. I do know you can't dribble like this and then your elbow like that. And that's how Luka entered the lane with the elbow out. Marcus Morris, I think, showed restraint saying, I'm not even going to fight through your elbow. I'm just still going to swipe at the ball twice. And maybe unintentionally hits him in the head once. But we know this. Once you go above the shoulder, obviously they're going to look at that and probably give you a flagrant 2. But what Acho is also guilty of is basically a case of double jeopardy. You're trying to convict them for the same crime. Like, the game before, you know what you did? You stepped on a shoe and nothing happened. So now when you do anything, we're going to pile on this sentence or we're going to change it just because of we didn't do anything in that moment. Call your foul when it's a foul. And when it's a foul, we're only talking about this narrow scope of the incident and infraction. You can't bring everybody's history into one specific moment. How are you even going to play that?
So you're simply going to act like every Slick, Please speak some knowledge into him
you
after
better
I
defer.
do first.
You
No,
better defer.
I'm going to
You ain't
first.
got this.
I'm going to first, but then I'm going to ask you, Slick. Marcellus, you are going to say that every infraction should be judged in an incubated and isolated incident, and you're not going to factor in the fact of, wait, you know what? Maybe previous infractions are also indicator of infractions that are to come.
You're telling me how it is. I'm telling you how it should be.